Morgan Gibbs-White to Tottenham Hotspur. Here we go. From rumour to information from journalists to job done within the space of 2 hours. And I can't quite believe how quickly Tottenham are moving in this summer transfer window after literally doing hardly anything to literally signing two players for £120 million within 2 days. And as you can see, the Fabrizio Romano, here we go, came just 30 minutes ago on his channels. £60 million release clause triggered by Tottenham with Nottingham Forest. Direct contacts only taking place today, perhaps some background work beforehand. But medical booked and set to take place in the next 24 hours, according to the Telegraph. And following the Kudus deal, this is massive, massive news. And as I said, £115 million, almost £120 million spent in the last 24 hours is absolutely crazy intent. It begs the question, has there suddenly been an injection of investment from elsewhere other than ENIC into this project, into this new Thomas Frank project? People are asking the questions, where can we expect Morgan Gibbs-White to fit in at Tottenham? Do we even need him? Well, the thing is, he is a very versatile player, can play attacking midfield, and that is the majority of where we see him play, as well as central midfield, and also at centre forward as almost like a second striker, you could argue at times, depending on how games are going. You could see him up front with Dominic Solanke just in behind. And his output is pretty good. 42 goal contributions in 120 games while playing at attacking midfield, sort of ratioing out to around a 1 goal contribution every 3 matches. And guys, this is a serious player, probably Nottingham Forest's best player, alongside maybe Chris Wood, who of course gets a lot of the goals over there. But, plays for England regularly, very, very exciting, strong player, good in the air. I'm absolutely gobsmacked that we've made 2 huge signings within the space of literally 1 day. But guys, let me know how you're feeling about this one. And do you think, we're moving right? Do you think we're signing the right players? Are you happy with Mohamed Kudus? Are you happy with Koto Takai, who obviously we signed as well just last week? And Matthias Tell on a permanence. Technically, Morgan Gibbs-White is our 4th signing of the summer already. I mean, it's absolutely crazy to think, we were having a meltdown this time last week in terms of who we're going to sign. And we're linked with Johan Visser of Brentford, Thomas Frank's former player, So absolutely incredible. Like I said, we were live and suddenly this just escalated. We said maybe we would see the here we go by tomorrow, and we're already seeing it today. It's absolutely incredible to think. And how Morgan Gibbs-White could fit into Tottenham is an interesting one. Obviously, as I said, normally and more of a number 10, but if you're going to fit a James Maddison alongside in the same starting lineup, you could see a Kudus on the right, Johnson maybe moving to the bench, Tell on the left, Solanke up top, Maddison in behind Solanke, and then Morgan Gibbs-White almost playing in a double pivot with Bergvall. Both players very good on the ball. Morgan Gibbs-White, the stronger of the 2, Bergvall potentially the better on the ball. It's interesting stuff. And it's exciting times, guys. It's exciting times for sure. Obviously, like I said, this is definitely far from done this window. I expect us to sign a number 6 that perhaps can fit in instead of maybe a Bergvall or Morgan Gibbs-White, and gives us that option to play a more deep-lying midfielder that can pivot and turn on the ball from defensive lines. And I think it's just very, very exciting that we have 2 or 3 players in each position as well. You think about how our squad depth lacked massively, especially with all those injuries last season. And obviously, we did so well to win that Europa League, but actually in the Premier League, we were absolutely depleted in terms of our ability to produce a starting 11 that was strong enough to compete with pretty much the whole Premier League. I mean, we were losing games we shouldn't. We were conceding far too many goals. And I think it's fair to say that we definitely need some strength in depth, probably at left back, but also definitely that number 6, so that when Thomas Frank plays a 4-2-3-1 and is playing more of a defensive 6, or perhaps when we rotate and it's more of a 5-3-2 or a 3-4-3, depending on how you look at it, you need to play that defender that just comes in front of the centre-backs and really does sit there and do the covering work. I think potentially we could see almost a Douglas Luiz come into that position as the number 6. And I think it will be interesting to see how Morgan Gibbs-White fits in. Will he play a more advanced role, or will it really be, fitting there next to Bergvall and forming a formidable partnership? And essentially, we don't need a number 6. I think we still do, but let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think on this one. And it's worth also pointing out that, you know, the bench, the strength and depth on the bench will just be incredible. The more signings we make that can challenge for the first team, the more exciting it is. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments section below. Are you happy with Morgan Gibbs-White? And do you think you could see us getting a number 6 as well? It's worth pointing out that, you know, Visser, if he did come in, would probably play as a more of a centre forward, almost playing as a left winger as well at times, as he has for Brentford in that front three when doing Buemo and Schade. So again, it looks like Thomas Frank is going for very much versatile players that can cover 2 or 3 different positions. You look at Matthias Tell, can almost play as a second forward. You look at Brennan Johnson, obviously already had him in the squad, but probably is going to move towards a more second striker role under Thomas Frank. But very, very interesting times at Tottenham for sure. I can't quite believe we've done it already. It's incredible to think. And just one more point, you know, in terms of Morgan Gibbs-White's strengths and in terms of what we can expect with him as a player at Tottenham, you know, aerial duels won, top 93 percentile in the whole world against other attacking midfielders and wingers, top 90 percentile for interceptions and top 81 for clearances as well. It's a player with a lot of strengths, but mainly a very strong player, decent on the ball, and actually very good at getting forward and backwards, almost like a box-to-box, you know, solid player. So it will be interesting to see where he does fit in out of all those positions. And it's interesting to see that his progressive passes are also in the top sort of 78 percentile as well. So, you know, very, very promising player. Is he worth £60 million? Well, at the end of the day, who cares? Because it seems like we've got investment from elsewhere that's really being pumped into the club. And it seems like there's more signings to come, you know. 10th of July now, and we already are well underway. There was a lot of meltdown going on with Arsenal doing a lot of business, Man City, Chelsea, and now suddenly we can be happy that Tottenham are doing a lot of business in the transfer window already, with more to come. But guys, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Do you think that Morgan Gibbs-White will fit into the number 10, or do you think he'll fit in alongside Bergvall in our starting 11? That's his stats per position, as I brought up earlier. It's just an interesting situation for us. Thomas Frank is almost now spoilt for choice. However, I do think we still need that number 6. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments below of this huge news. Absolutely insane 24 hours at White Hart Lane. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, subscribe if you are new to Spurs Related. We're doing daily content, live streams and videos, all about the information of the transfer news and statistics and tactical analysis to go with that. Make sure you tell your friends all about us, and I'll see you very soon for another video over on Spurs Related. Thanks, and remember, as always, come on you Spurs! Come on, we're actually doing something. It's incredible.